Are you feeling that balance is coming back into your life, or are you feeling tugged out of control? Today is a day where you are either going to be balanced or you're going to be pulled out. But whatever is happening today is to bring balance back into your life. Today is a day you're going to receive. And what receive often means is it's getting information. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's always good. But sometimes it feels good. Sometimes it feels like you got to wake up. So put in the comments how you're feeling today. And what's going on for you. Balance back. Yeah, there you go. So are you guys feeling that balance? Like this morning we got up and, oh yeah, look at that, balanced. Somebody says no sound. Okay, well that's no sound, that would be you. So go check it out. Grand Rising, put in the comments how you're feeling. Heaviness in my head. Less allergies, yes. Also, do me a favor, hit that. Send it out to a bunch of friends. Send it to somebody you don't like. Somebody who needs it. Starting to feel sick. Okay, you're not feeling sick, you're starting to detox, because when your body goes into what you call, sound is great. When your body goes into what you call as sick, you're actually cleaning. So your body's healing itself when you're calling it sick. That means that that means if you're healing when you have a flu or when you're coughing or when you have a cold, that's actually healing. So the question is, what was sick? Your life before it was sick. That's why you're there. Had a vertigo treatment from a physio. Okay today. Are you guys still feeling the moon? My lower back hurts. Can you speak about cellulite on legs and buttocks? We got a lot of videos on cellulite. You can DM us, but for the most part, what you think is cellulite isn't cellulite. It's actually calcium deposits. I'm gonna actually show you something. Here's what's happening. What I notice happening in people today, especially noticeable in women. Not so much in men. Women tend to have a bit more softness in the skin. Their pH seems to be a little bit better. They tend to have more softness. So this is what I'm seeing, and I'll show you a picture. I can't bring it up directly, but I can show you here. Okay, so oh, that didn't work out. Let's bring that up again. Okay. This is a pelvis of a woman. Now, this is an x-ray. You're only supposed to be able to see the bones in white. Everything else is supposed to be clear. So what is that? What are that? And this is really common right now. So, and even if I go even further, look at that. That has dimension. That this is higher and this is lower. This is higher. It's like a cloud. So what do you think causes that? What do you think the skin looks like on top of that? Huh? So imagine that if you had your shirt, a little pinch in your shirt right here. It would go like this. And then I move my skin and that little pinch shows up as a round circle, just like in that x-ray. What do you think that looks like on your body? It looks like cellulite. It was funny because Mary, who does our social media, she also works out, and she's been transforming her body since she's been here. Been with us for the last, I guess, 4 months or so. She's been transforming her body, and a while ago she had like what she thought was cellulite on her legs like that, and we just opened it up, twisted it, torqued it, the maneuvers, and it all went away. So the question is, was it cellulite, or what is cellulite? I did a video with Barefoot Sprinter, Graham Tuttle, and he was asking what's the difference between adipose fat and fascial congestion, and it's like there is no difference. So first of all, if you have muscles and fascia as a coating, and then you have skin, how did you get these layers in here? What are those layers? Like, what is that? How would you have layers if it's supposed to be just skin? How would you get those layers? Like what would make that happen? Well, if you look at fascia the way we describe it, is we describe fascia in layers like phyllo pastry. And in that phyllo pastry, you've got oil and you've got grease that goes through there. And that's actually the flow that's supposed to happen. If you have calcification from chemicals in your diet, is the primary one, and dehydration, then it stops that flow, calcification. It literally, the water calcifies. That means calcium deposits. That causes that pinning action here. And what does that look like? It looks like cellulite on your skin. So where did I get this theory from? Is because when I was working in the clinic, I was working with CrossFit athletes, women, who are in their like 20s, 21, 25. They were complete ripped. And all of a sudden they had cellulite here. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to have a full 6-pack of abs and get completely ripped and have cellulite. Would you agree that doesn't make sense? Then what is it? And that's the journey that we've been on for the last decade to describe that. We see fascia in layers. Calcification of any one of those layers, each layer belongs to an organ. Calcification of that layer causes a pulling of the skin from that calcified point. It's like taking and put a dot in it. That is what then crinkles the skin on top and makes it look like cellulite. So here's the answer. The answer is to get diatomaceous earth. That's because calcification is caused because of water and pH, water and calcium deposits. So you need to have diatomaceous earth to bring the silica in so that you can absorb the minerals, water, and movement of the fascia. So like when we twist the fascia, what we're doing is we're twisting it and those layers start to unadhere and break up. Then that calcification starts to move. What does it look like? I'll show you. When you work with fascia, I'll show you an x-ray of working with fascia. Okay. Okay. Here's what it looks like before and after. See on this, oh, sorry guys. I'm gonna have to get better at this. See on this side, notice that you can see all the ribs. Notice that there's whiteness and cloudy. This is the same person, 3 hours of assisted fascial maneuvers. This is the same x-ray person, but it's about 3 weeks later. So what we did is we did all the fascia work, let the body clear it out with minerals, and 3 weeks later, see how clear that looks? Now, never mind the fact that the scoliosis is almost gone. And then also, what's this? What is that? That's a layer of fascia. That's a torque layer that held the scoliosis. So the scoliosis is like this. And in that area, from here to here, something had to pull the body over that way. That's the fascia folding on itself in those layers. It's not what you think it is. What you have been told about the body. I know if you're a therapist out there, I know if you're a fascial worker, I know what you think, I know what you've been told. I came from that world. It's not what you've been told. And you can't take a dead body and represent what a live body looks like. Think about this. Think about a riverbed. If you look at a riverbed, you can see the path of the river, right? You can see the rocks and stuff like that. But what you can't see is, was that river a foot deep, 5 feet deep, 100 feet deep? You can't tell from a riverbed. If it goes through a mountain, it could have been the entire 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, and it's dried up. All you see at the bottom. So when you look at a cadaver, or you go to like anatomy trains, thank goodness for them doing this because they started the thought process. You'll see these spiral fascial lines, but that doesn't tell you, that's when somebody's dead. That doesn't tell you the truth of what it's like when you're alive. If you go to fascia magnified 25 times, and you do that on YouTube, you'll see layers of fascia. You'll see mesh, and in that mesh, you'll see water tubelets going. Second, maybe I can actually do that. Here, let's actually do that. I'm gonna actually bring it up here. And that's fascia magnified 25 times. Okay. And if you get into our 28-day reset, we start to show you this stuff here. Okay. So, nice little music in here. So what I'm going to do is bring this up. See that little water tube that's there? So at the speed of light, water moves through this mesh substance, which is fascia. Fascia is like a web, a mycelium, like mushrooms. Human beings are more closely related genetically to mushrooms than we are anything in the animal kingdom. That's true. And look at, you see depth and layers. And this is just a microphone, or microscope. This is a very small segment. So it doesn't show you the whole, it just shows you pieces of it. And you'll see fat trapped within those layers. What is that fat? That's water that's not moving. If you take water in the body and you don't move it over a long period of time, what would that water look like? It look brown. Look at the blood vessel. Blood actually goes out to these areas. There's a membrane effect. And you're going to see layers. And layers are highly connected to the organs and the meridians. And by the way, look at this. What we're looking at, see all that white gooey stuff? That's what fascia looks like when you open it up. That's a forearm. I encourage you to go watch that and dig in deeper, because what you're going to find is there's nothing in our current description of medicine that describes that. The way we describe fascia is it's a coating. It can't be a coating. We are born in fascia, and everything is grown in fascia. Fascia is in your bones. Fascia is in your brain. Fascia is in your heart. Your heart is made out of fascia. So is your brain. So is your bones. So are your nerves. So are your tendons. So your gland. Fascia is the only thing you cannot extract or remove from the human body. Think about that. Everything else you can take out. So you can explain everything else in the human body, but you can't explain something you can't take out. I can pull a heart out, I can pull a gland out, I can pull a tendon out. I can't pull fascia out of the body. We are made. We are made in fascia. Fascia is the container. Fascia is the structure. Fascia has the tensile strength, the break point of 50,000 pounds, which is steel. That's why when somebody rips a pec or a quad or a bicep in a gym, it sounds like somebody goes like that. That's what it sounds like, but it sounds like a gunshot goes off if someone tears a quad. Why? It's 50,000 pounds of pressure. You can't tell me that the way that you look at a diagram or an anatomy program, you can't tell me that that makes sense when you look at that video. And what's even crazier is that video is the body's opened up. The body's defending itself, so you don't even see the truth, because if the body opens up, it automatically knows to defend itself. But when that body's not opened up, guess what it is? Just a flow. It's like a jello. Should be like a jello, it is. Hi, my happy fascia. Yeah, it is our computer programming. Feels fascia the same as chi? Well, chi is what moves through fascia. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
You're smiling.
How not to? I mean, have the pleasure to listen to your words, like, I was literally staring at you like, wow. So we are created from fascia. Fascia is the base of this device computer that's moving.
Yeah, I mean, fascia is the computer. All the other components, your heart, your brain, your tendons, your muscles, those are all components that support the computer.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, fascia is the strongest substance in your body. It's supple. You can get somebody to grow to 800 pounds, it'll stretch out. But if you try to move it and pull it really quick, it'll lock up, and it'll take 50,000 pounds to pull it apart of pressure. That's the same break point as steel.
Now, I wonder, Now that same strength, for example, that you're talking about, the pressure, is that the same, for example, for a kid, for like a baby, than an adult human being? Is that the fascia with
Yeah.
the same pressure
So
to
like
start?
when a baby's born, a newborn baby, like we look at a quadricep and we look at different muscles. Actually, if you look at mine right now, I don't have defined muscles anymore. It's all fascia. But a baby doesn't have all these well-formed quadriceps and biceps and triceps. They're not well-formed. They
Right.
get that forming. Think of fascia as a mesh, right? And when I try to lift myself up, the fascia tries to gain stability. So it drops in that mesh, it drops little forms of tissue that become muscle.
Right.
Babies basically are a big ball of goo. It's bones and goo, and then organs. And then as we develop, that's why it takes us so long to learn to walk. That's why it's 9 months, 10 months, 12 months to get up and start walking. That's why it's a couple of years to move properly and effectively. You know, and you look at kids at 3 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, they're still not quite moving properly. They're still not have the balance or the stability. So we actually grow those muscle stabilities and those fascial lines which support the muscles. It grows over years. It takes a decade and even up to 13, 14 years old before kids really become stable. And then somewhere between 12 or 13 and 20, the stability starts to come in and now they can articulate against the stability. What is a muscle? A muscle just stabilizes the movement of the fascia. Muscles don't move the body. Think about it. If you put electricity on this muscle, it goes, like if you were to actually literally put needles in there for electricity or tension, it goes boom. You let it go, it goes boom. It doesn't go slow. It goes boom. That means that when muscles get charged, in other words, when they're fired from the brain, they go in one direction. So I can program them to go in that direction, but what is moving it? Fascia moves the body, muscles stabilize the movement. So it just doesn't go boom like this. The muscle stabilizes that movement to go a direction, and the muscle's built through pattern and time. That's why, you think about the energy it takes for us to drink a glass of water. It's think of how many, it's a cerebellum homunculus. The cerebellum or the homunculus is how far is it? How hard do I grab? Do I squeeze it? Do I not? And then bringing it to the mouth is one task. But that's not the hardest part. This is
Drinking
opening the
it.
mouth, closing the larynx, letting the water come in, and doing this. It takes literally 4 or 5 or even 6 years to do that task properly before otherwise you're spilling on yourself. And I'm 55, and if you look at me, I got water all over me, all over the place. I still can't do it properly.
Yeah, I can't blame you. That happens to me too. Happens to me too. Now, usually when I'm drinking water, when I come to awareness to what I'm actually doing, I try to bless it. Like, I love you, I thank you, I bless you, and
Powerful. I mean, that's intention.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
programming it, right? I
But
guess program.
but before you love it and bless it, you have to get it to your mouth.
Yeah,
That's the magic of the human being. It's like, stand on one foot, put one hand in the air and drink.
one hand.
No, yeah, it's like that's the magic of being human. And it's no light feat. Like we have all this technology we're supposedly developing in the world. All technology in the world is built off of the idea or the principle of a human being. There's not any technology that is better or more powerful than this. There's nothing. We have 50 trillion cells. There, you can put a voltage meter on our cells. Each cell has a 1.4 volt charge with a negative charge and a positive charge on the outside. That means that our potential energy, when we're utilizing it at 50 trillion cells, is 70 trillion volts of electricity. We have the same electricity as a lightning bolt.
Funny that you mentioned that. Well, I was just thinking about it just a couple of days ago because I was talking with someone and we were talking about the higher self. So, so how this person was somehow separating this myself with the higher self, but just something came to my mind, just I guess a random thought, and I said, why can't you be the higher self? Why can't we be the higher
Right.
self? And they said, that is a lot of electricity. Like that higher self, it's billions of volts. Like it's,
We Yeah, so Chris, the truth is that the human experience and what you're talking about, the human experience, this is not the human experience. The human experience starts at this ball of energy. And at the most dense part of that, we can see. You and I can see, but animals can see the rest of it. Our higher self isn't, it's misleading when we say higher self. My outer self would be more contiguous. It would make more sense because it's not higher this way, it's outer. And where I adjust my presence is how I view. I can adjust my presence completely in my body. I can adjust it in my head, or I can adjust it right here. But what keeps us from being present here is stress. Because as soon as stress goes, the body, part of this human experience is stress is I'm being attacked. So part of the human experience is now under attack. So all of the energy comes from awareness and presence into the brain, into the body. What do I do to get out of this attack? And this is what people, even the healthy people today, live in stress. I have not met anybody who does it, who does not naturally live in stress. And they go, well, I'm not stressed out. It's because you're comparing it to what your average is every day. Like someone's a 7-level stress every day and it doesn't change. You've been like that their whole life. They don't feel stressed out. If they go to an 8 or a 9, they feel stressed out. But when we do fascial maneuvers, as you know, you drop right away. And then you go, oh, I thought I wasn't stressed, but all of a sudden, how did I get to this calmness? What was I before? That's the question.
yeah. So I guess we live in a world reality, whatever this is, simulation, whatever we want to call this, that is being controlled by this group, and we live in stress. Like I guess, like
Well, sorry.
right,
You
still gotta.
you live in stress.
I I
Yeah.
feel like
I can't resonate with that anymore, and that's why I keep changing in my body and my life. That's my point. Because when I feel stress, to live in stress, it's okay to feel it, but if I don't do anything about it, it gets more and more and more and more and incrementally. But when I feel stress, like yesterday, I think it was, or day before yesterday, I had this wild day. All of a sudden, I felt anxious for no reason. So the first thing I do, I walk out to the garden. I do fascial maneuvers. I still felt a little bit. I'm like, I'm gonna take some power kirk. I took some power kirk. So it's a choice. Being in stress is a choice.
definitely a choice. I mean, I'm not pointing fingers, right? But I feel like we were talking about a wholeness, the whole society. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes they can choose or not to choose, but somehow they always have to use money to buy food, pay rent, or the everyday basics. So I guess that makes you stress like unconditionally. But yeah, I
Well,
guess
yeah. And that goes away too. That's the thing is that we are taught, look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If I don't have food and water, I can't self-actualize. And then once I get food and water, the next thing I look for is shelter. If I have food, water, and shelter, then I self-actualize. But you know how we keep the world in stress is that you have to pay your rent or your mortgage. And if you own your place, you have to pay your taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, they come and take it away. So what does that do? It naturally puts us in stress because our primary need is threatened. It's a deep dark web. I mean, my ex-wife was lived in Bosnia. She went back and it was funny because there was nobody homeless there. Everybody had a home, but they were starving. And the reason
Oh,
they had a home is because the families that owned the land for like 400, 500, 700 years over there. So the land had been not taxed. The land's not taxed. So they had their shelter taken care of, but not always their food. And it caused this, it was a weird because here, it's like your food and your shelter are tied to one thing, money. But you could have no money and still have shelter. It creates a completely different dynamic.
it's crazy, honestly. Yeah, I feel like that's one thing that I want to develop, like for me, somehow have like a little space, you know, like a farm with chickens, eggs, have your own veggies, maybe the microgreens, you know, they're getting so famous. You can just grow your own microgreens,
Yeah.
have your life going. You don't need money, you know, and you can just share and just spread the love, right?
Yeah. You know, that's why Jordan in Vancouver is doing West Coast Fungi. He's showing people how to grow mushrooms. Then we're going to show them how to grow microgreens so that they can take care of themselves, like the basic needs. I mean, a sprout from a microgreen is this big, is equal to this much broccoli. We don't need a lot of we need good nutrients. We don't need a lot of it. But we've been taught to have volume over quality. And yeah, that's what you're talking about. And this is why we're doing what we're doing. We're going back and we're living on less, communing, working together. So because the reason why we can do what we're doing around the world is we have a whole bunch of people that aren't drawing a salary, that are working together, that live together, that are in the same area and working together. Because I don't have to go get my piece, come back, and then worry about my piece. I don't have to do that.
Right.
There's a power in numbers. There is a power in numbers.
Yeah, big power.
So listen, you look happier.
Happier.
You look happier than the last time I talked to you. Now, the reason why I called you up is I want to know what's been going on because we did a little exercise last time.
Yeah. Thanks for choosing me. You know, like the Toy Story, you get chosen from so many. But yeah, I've been doing the work. Been doing my fascia. Been practicing some basic yoga that I know that I used, and some
But you're
free
happy.
weight.
You look happier.
Yeah. I think what we did definitely has some sort of release on those kind of feelings, emotions that somehow you're attached. But I feel like after we did a release, I felt like a huge weight that was just released from me.
So what's changed in your life? People around you, situations.
So I've been by myself. I've been on my own. This whole time I've been surfing. I've been going to the ocean and just surfing for like 3-4 hours. Like I don't even know the time because I don't really check my phone that much either. You know, just basic and yeah, just try to understand more myself, why I act like this, why do I think this, why do I act like this, like that, you know.
So you've been very self-reflective.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the relationship now breaking up?
Well, you know, I feel that as we said on those words, it's good to be grateful for whatever happened and be grateful for whatever's happening and just let whatever it's for there to come if it's gonna come and whatever comes.
Yeah, I guess the point is that a little bit of work that we did energetically has a major impact on you. You're a different person. anybody can go back and watch that video. It was about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. and you're a completely different person. You felt, sounded, and acted stressed out 3 weeks ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm going through something where I'm pretty much homeless, right? I guess this is home, right? But I don't have an actual like shelter, like setup, like just this is it, because I'm like in the middle of just got a new house, but it's not ready to be delivered yet. Like it's gonna be in a couple of weeks, but I've been hearing that since last month, and
But
so
you don't look stressed about it.
not really stressed, but like perhaps it's just like that feeling that you don't have a safe spot like to go and be like.
I get that, but you don't look broken down about it. That's my point.
No, definitely not. Actually, I kind of learned to be grateful about it, and shoot, like if I don't have to pay a rent, like $1,000 rent or so, like I'm happy for it, you know, and I can just go surf.
There you go. That's my point. My point is that's the first step to being truly happy and truly secure, is to be okay with wherever you are. It's not that I don't feel the emotions. I was talking to somebody last night, is a year and a half ago, there was some stress around us around money because we're moving our whole project forward. We have people, and I could feel it, but I also had belief a year ago. The year before that, I could feel it, and I was hoping for belief. And then this year, it's just non-existent. And there's nothing really changed. It's just that I have all my intuition says that what I want, or what makes me happy is to be able to do this without interruption. And now I can do that. I always could, but I was stressed out about it.
Yeah. So emotions, it gets. I've been also working on that. I've been feeling emotions, and it's like, why am I feeling this emotion? Why is my heartbeat racing? You know, why is this happening? Like, what is triggering? What was the trauma? So,
Right.
working on that too. Feeling emotions, I think that's very important. I've been kind of going through a book, Eastern Body, Western Mind.
Yeah, it's actually a good book. Eastern
Yeah.
Body, Western Mind. Yeah.
You've gone through it. You've read it.
Yeah, I didn't read it cover to cover. I've read good portions of it. The philosophy is that our mind, we were taught that our mind is dominant, but really at the truth of it, our mind is a reflection of our body. And if we treat our body in an Eastern fashion, if we recognize it, acknowledge it, take care of it, then our mind is okay. But if we take care of this and we don't take care of this, everything goes away.
Yeah, it's like part of the yin yang, right? It's like you gotta keep quality, polarity, all in the same vibration.
Hey, so question. We got that going in the air yet? Got totally twisted on a parachute, on a skydive?
I haven't skydived. I've been in the ground. Through like my company, still going through some permits right now. So I'll be skydiving here probably by April. But I am planning, not really planning, but I am thinking about a trip to this big drop zone where there is a lot of skydivers, and then that's where I'm gonna do the Maya fascia.
Gotta get that video. It's the first person doing fascial maneuvers falling at 10 meters per second.
I already did it, you know, in another reality, another dimension. I've already done it. I just haven't physically done it on this one, but I will for sure.
That's awesome, Chris.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. It's good to talk to you. I can feel the changes. I know that the work that we did the last time made a big difference. So I really appreciate you for hanging out there and doing what you're doing.
Huge difference. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I look forward to going skydiving with you one day.
Yeah, we have to skydive for sure. We've done it, I guess, at this point, another reality, but we got to do it on this one right now.
Take care, Chris.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Your next guest is Jackie, talking about the fundraiser.
Jackie. I don't see Growth with Jackie.
I just posted her link.
Did you? Growth with Jackie. Yeah, I can't get it from you. I have to. Jackie, can you say hi in the chat, please? Unless she changed her hand. No.
She's in there.
How do you find your purpose in life? You know, that's a really good question. If you want to find your purpose in life, your purpose isn't external, it's internal. And when you find your purpose inside, your outside purpose will automatically align. Your outside life is a reflection of your inside life. So if you haven't found your purpose outside, look inside. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, how are you doing, Gary?
Good. You're famous for the statement, patching bullet holes with Band-Aids.
Yeah, and no more putting Band-Aids on bullet holes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I use that all the time. I give you credit sometimes.
It's all good, but that's what it is getting to the root of the problem, because if you're going to just cover it up, you're not actually addressing the issue at hand, and it can then make it even worse. And that's why I love that I'm on live today, because I wanted to explain, because a lot of people don't know in the community the important part of the host role of Facts and Maneuvers.
You got to tell everybody first, because not everybody knows you. So you got to tell them where you are, give me a birthday, so they can relate. They got to know who's talking.
Yeah, I'm Jackie B. I'm one of the hosts in the community. I am a Scorpio sun sign. I am in Wisconsin. Anything else you want to know?
Yeah. Scorpio, and don't you have a bunch of Gemini in your chart?
Yes, so I am a 14-degree Scorpio sun. I have a 0-degree Gemini moon, and I have a 13-degree Gemini rising.
Yeah, so basically, you're a Scorpio that shows up like a Gemini. And 14 degrees, if you'll know, because they're going to say something. The 14 degrees always talk. They're always like, hey, you got to listen to this over here. Right?
And I think that's for me is like, I can be quiet, and then there's times where like my soul is like, nope, you're gonna speak. Like there's no choice. Like
that's the
need
paradox
the wisdom
of this
right now.
Scorpio and Gemini. So people get to know you further. You were a nurse. How long were you a nurse?
I've been a nurse since 2013, an RN. Yep.
Yeah. And what was it that was driving you out of nursing?
Well, for me, it was that's where the concept of the Band-Aids or the bullet holes. I wanted to actually address like the core issues and not just the physical body. So for me, I like a holistic approach. I don't want to bypass the emotions. I don't want to bypass the mental body. All of those serve you. So you need to address all different sides. So for example, like I have like right now, my hip is acting up again. I have that pain that kind of shoots down. It's not just, it's my body talking to me. So it's not just that I have this physical pain. There is emotion and stories stored there. My body's saying, hey, I feel safe enough to tell you about it so we can let it go and move forward.
Is that your right or left side?
Right.
Right side. Okay, take your hand and put it on your gallbladder. Left hand on your neck. And breathe in. Two. Three. Through your nose. Two. Three. I no longer want to hold anger and resentment in my body.
I no longer want to hold anger and resentment in my body.
I'm learning to communicate openly from my heart.
I'm learning to communicate openly from my heart. Yes.
That feels better.
Yes. Well, and for me, when I'm leaning in and asking my body what it is holding those sacred boundaries in places like especially with my family and the people that I love, and I've allowed to kind of cross those boundaries. So it's on me, it's not anyone else, because a boundary is not to keep anybody else, it's a commitment to myself. And so that's part of the lessons that I'm integrating right now, is just because the world expects demands, I still have choice. I always have choice. So even if that looks like, hey, I need to ask for help and say, hey, it's all right, which is exactly what the fundraiser is all about, is allowing ourselves to receive too. We're showing up and giving and saying, hey, like we get to receive and we get to share
So,
everything that we've created.
so let's go back. How in your life have you, because you're holding boundaries, how have you broken boundaries with yourself?
It's a lot of the times I put everybody else's needs before mine. It's like I have an old program that I'm nurturing, that I'm okay to put my needs first, fill my cup, take care of me so I can take care of everybody else. And yes, that's a concept. Like my brain understands that, but it's really integrating it in every cell of my being and what that is. So the universe will give me examples over and over again to practice, to really embody that concept.
So you've been in the hosting and coaching program, which we'll get into. How does your journey and what you're going through right now, how does that show up in your coaching and hosting of other people?
So for me, it's I live and breathe what I share and teach. So I am no better than anybody else. I'm going through the journey the same way. And I believe that is actually what holds the deepest wisdom. So for me to be a wisdom keeper is to share the wisdom. It's not just to know it, it's to embody it. That's the wisdom piece. It's one thing to know a topic, but it's another thing to live and experience. And when you experience something, you can take somebody deeper. So I can take you to places that I'm willing to go, but I can't take you places as deep if I'm not experiencing or I'm afraid to go there. So for me, I love doing the emotional pieces and the mental, and I love every part of me, even when it is speaking up and things like that, and having those deep connections. So for me, when I love on myself and meet myself at all those different levels, I can help other people do that as well.
So the last 3 months of volunteering in the coaching and hosting program, what's changed for you? Like how have you changed? What are some of the biggest aha moments that you've had?
For me, it's really that my voice does matter and I do make a difference. And just those little nuggets, kind of like we were saying before, like the 14, they always have something to say, but it's like a balancing act of the old programs of like, is my voice even worthy? Like, am I actually contributing here? And I'm very intentional. It's one of those like, I'll be quiet and then all of a sudden it will be like, this needs to come through and I don't know where it's coming from, but this needs to be stated in that space. So for me, it's really allowing myself to show up as all of me and knowing that's okay, and then getting it mirrored. So the more I do my healing, the more it gets mirrored back into society, and the community will then love on me in return and be like reflecting that same, because I believe we are all mirrors of everything around us. So when we have those trigger points, then that's actually an invitation for me to go, okay, how am I showing up for me that way?
So can you remember an incident or a time because you guys show up every week, you show up and you help people going to the 28-day reset. There's movement, there's holding space, there's letting people talk, there's giving them wisdom. What do you remember a time or an incident or a specific event that you got off the call and you go, oh my gosh, that fundamentally changed me as a person?
Every single day, because when I speak, it's not for somebody else.
Give me
it's
one.
For me too.
So
for example,
give me a real one.
Yeah, for example, when we talk a lot about on my Wednesday calls about different relationships and how like the communication piece. And then for me being able to share my experience and going, yeah, I can see your situation. It may not look exactly like that, but I can see it mirrored in my life too. And as I talk and I hold space, I can share it from my experience, and it's another layer of healing for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, can you isolate it down into one event? Like, I'm asking you to be super authentic here, and I'm giving you a clue. Can you isolate it down into an event? And if you can't, that's okay too. But was there one thing that happened where it impacted your daily life from helping others that you can remember over the last 3 months while you've been volunteering?
There's so many, but what's popping to my mind right now is my trying to navigate all of the different roles that I have, and because I work, I have my own business, so I work from home. I also homeschool my 2 younger kiddos. I have a teenager that goes to public school, and I do the host program. My grandma just got diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and so when we're talking about communication and relationships, especially, and how they change, and being able to have that balance of allowing them to have their freedom and still hold the boundaries to setting them up for success, and have those moments of it's okay as a caregiver too to have those moments to be held as well. It's okay to have the emotion and know the higher truth, but jumping to the higher truth does not negate what you're feeling. So you have to feel the feeling first and then anchor into the perspective shift.
So being a nurse, classically trained in Western medicine, and looking at Alzheimer's, first of all, as soon as you said that, I felt it right here. Okay, so is it a grandmother on your mother's
Yes.
side, your father's side?
Mom's.
Mom's side. What's her first name?
Sharon.
Sharon. Yeah. So what do you believe now about Alzheimer's in working in this holistic area? Have you ever heard Gary Lineham talk by any chance?
Name sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% sure.
So I'll preface it. Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes. How does that resonate with you?
Well, with her case, I believe every dis-ease is linked to something that's not in harmony in our body. And for her, all of this onset, we just lost my grandpa, her husband, who she's taking care of, who did have type 1 diabetes most of her life. So from a teenager, she went from the house to helping him manage that. And she's been his main caretaker through this whole time. And just this past May, he passed away. So it's the memory pieces of the grief and all of that intertwined as well. And I think that's what catapulted a lot of this. It's not just we have this gene. There's something that like gets turned on in that space of the environment pieces. And it's not like it's coming back to that childhood like wonder. And just because we have the Alzheimer's, it doesn't take the quality of life away unless we decide it. That's the power of our mind.
Do you believe Alzheimer's is curable?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so you also probably know from working in nursing that specialty nurses and specialty doctors usually get the disease of the people that they care for.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, actually, right?
Yeah. Where your focus goes, energy flows too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So when you're talking to people, do you use these references in your life and the references from your experience in medicine? Is that what you're using
Absolutely.
to help people?
Yes, I bridge 2 different worlds. So I can speak in both language. I do energy, I do all of these things, and I know the Western medicine. And there's a time and place for both. And that's what I always share. And I share my experience because even though I've been in the medical field, there's always been a part of me that there's more. And so for me, it's like Western medicine is not the first line of defense, but it's nice to have it there. I'm grateful it's there. Yeah. If I get in a car accident, I'm glad that there is surgeons that can help me in that healing process, but it's not going to be my first go-to. I trust my body and I know my body is capable of healing, but that doesn't mean that I don't need support every once in a while.
So now that you've come to the end of the 3 months, your journey is you guys show up how often so people know exactly what it is that you put into it. What does your week look like in helping with fascial maneuvers and people? What do you do in a normal week?
Yeah, so every week we have a training call. So that's where we come on with the core team and we kind of share our experiences and kind of go deeper with our skill set. And then we have our weekly calls. So every Wednesday morning, I'm setting boundaries for myself. It used to be 4-hour calls every Wednesday,
Right.
but now I'm putting it down to 2. And in those calls, we have fascia maneuvers, we have a movement section, and then we have processing, where you really get to show up and be witnessed. And that's the part that originally I was sharing, I think is so important and people don't realize. Like, fascia maneuvers, the beautiful thing about it is it connects you to your body. It's a vessel to take you into your body, and you're unwinding and you're opening. But once all of that comes to the surface, which it's supposed to do, that's the design, is now what do you do with it? Because if you're just doing emotion and you're like, okay, this hurts, so I'm going to do this maneuver, and you're maneuvering your way to fix yourself, that's defeating the purpose. You're actually bypassing the emotion and the mental aspect of it. So it's to be able to say, okay, so I hear you, body, I'm with you, and letting that surface up and not judging it and saying, hey, this is what's happening. And as you're going through, especially like the 28 days, and you're doing that, we have space during this journey of there's multiple of us that you can come on and say, hey, this is what's coming up for me. And a place to be, really a sacred place to be seen, heard, felt, and understood. And for some of the people that come on there, it's like the first time in a long time that they felt that way. Of it's okay for me to feel and navigate.
So your team that's been doing this and training has been providing a safe space for people to move and then share, and you do it on a weekly basis. And this is all free of charge for those people.
Yep. We volunteer our time and show up for the community.
What we're doing is Human Garage is treating a container so that, because if it's a corporation and it all runs that way, and we charge a bunch of money for the programs and all that, somebody always has to run it, somebody else has to show it, and it always diminishes in quality. But if people like you come in and take your skills and your caring and your time, and you do this because you want to. You've been to meetings before where somebody doesn't want to be there. You can tell it.
Mm-hmm.
But because you set the intention of want to do this, it creates transformations in people. And this space that you guys have been a part of is something that you're doing. And now there's a new generation going to come in, and you're going to be helping a new generation.
Absolutely.
And so now it comes down to the final stages of this journey, because you've been doing, I started talking to you about a year ago.
Yeah, I came into Human Garage World in, I think it was October 2022.
Yeah, so just a little over a year ago. And you were done patching bullet holes with Band-Aids. And then you started in your own journey. Then you started with the 28-day reset. You went to the lifestyle artist, and then you progressed through there into the coaches and facilitators. You started hosting a class, but you were hosting your own class anyways already. You were like, I want to help. So this is like a passion for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then now the final part of that is to come, because I've never met you in person, but I've talked to you a lot. It's to come and get in person with us, the core team, and get some of those final pieces and talking and hands-on and working and sharing. And that's what's coming up. When do you guys come here?
February. I fly out February 13th.
February 13th. Wow, that's a cool date. Yeah, that's a really, really cool date. That was actually my wedding date before. February 13th after 6 p.m. So that's actually technically the 14th. And so February 13th. And what's happened is we provide all the training and education and mentoring and coaching for you guys all the way along. And we just ask that you get here. And then when you're here, we'll take care of all the stuff here. So what you're doing is, with a whole bunch of coaches and facilitators that have been serving the community for a long time, you're doing an event, a fundraising event, so that, because not everybody can pay, not everybody has different jobs and that. So you're doing a fundraiser event so everybody can come, and that's this Saturday. So tell me what that's going to be like.
So it's going to be a 90-minute session, and we're going to have it's not going to be your typical class. So we have kind of like a collaboration. So if you think about it, we have been creating mini containers in a big container individually with us coaches and hosts. And this is an opportunity for us to shine and co-collaborate and come together, not only to receive support for furthering our journey, but then to really showcase who we are and what we are, and to be able to hold that energy. So we have 6 different coaches that are going to come and guide their own like flavor of movement. And then we have a discussion, and I'm going to be one of the hosts leading that discussion. And so we're going to go through and really talk about what community healing is, and spark that conversation and start talking about things, and then really being able to connect so you guys can see like who we are in person. And if you have that pull and resonation, you know where to reach us, and the importance of what we do.
Somebody asked, can you donate and have access? Yes. Yeah, if you donate, you'll get a video sent out afterwards. And if you just feel like donating, just donate as well. I mean, you guys have been serving the community for a long time, and it's now, like you said, it's about being able to receive. And we as caregivers, it's really easy to give.
Yes.
It's actually a lot harder to receive at first. I mean, it's a journey.
And to ask for help. Like for me, I can't speak on behalf of everybody, but for me, it's like, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to receive. I don't have to give in order to receive. I can receive just for being me as well. And that's a whole like new paradigm shift.
Yeah, so super looking forward to that, getting to know all of you guys. I mean, I've been watching you all online and talking. Some I have met, but most I don't think I've met, actually. And I'm looking forward to spend time. We're going to be training you guys hands-on. We're going to be putting you in situations where you have to think your way outside of the boxes. We're going to be eating together. It's going to be a really, really good time. And I'm super excited about tomorrow's class. So it's tomorrow. It starts at what
11 Central. I'm Central time. So I think it's 9 Pacific, 11 Central.
And 12 Eastern. And they can register by going to Human Garage events, and you'll see it. It's Fascial Maneuver Extravaganza. And you're one of the people that's going to be helping guiding this whole process through. So I'm super excited about it.
We're going to have fun too. It's not just we're going through this monotonous thing. We get to fun and play and experience.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to remember to have fun, but yeah, there's days where it gets really, really thick and heavy, but at the end of it, this is fun. Mm-hmm. It is, because it's doing something that I truly, truly love, and I know that you truly, truly love this.
Absolutely.
Jackie, I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow. And everybody else, if you haven't done it yet, go get your tickets, support them. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you. Okay.
There's a place also to donate on
donate button.
Donate extra.
Yeah, you can donate extra if you want. There's an extra donation button, so you can buy the ticket and you can still donate. And could you donate? Yeah, can you just hit that link?
I can't send it through there. I can't.
No, can you just hit the link, the donate link, even if you didn't buy a ticket, or?
Yes. So in there it just says.
There is a donate button specifically for donation?
You can. Well, the donations on the site.
Do you have to buy a ticket to donate?
The ticket comes with every donation.
I get it.
Yes, but no, you can donate extra.
Okay, there's an extra donation part on there. Okay, got it. So go check it out, and if you haven't done it, do it. If you buy it for somebody else too. I mean, this is going to be a really powerful event because you're going to get 6 coaches, and they're all going to bring something slightly different. Like I said, it's going to be very, very different. It's extravaganza is a good word for it. Now, Healing Care Center. Hemp cotton t-shirts too. What's a hemp cotton t-shirt? Is there a cotton t-shirt in here or something, or somebody on? Okay. So I'm trying to bring up Healing Care Center. I accepted you.
I mean, our t-shirts on our website have caught, but they're not part of the event.
Okay. Hello. We are looking at your bed. Hello. Nahala Healing Center. It's Na Healing, N-A Healing. You have to turn your camera around, but say something. Say your name. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Maybe you weren't meaning to be there, so I'll let you go. Looks like you're in bed. You wouldn't be the first person we caught in bed. Dr. BTB. Hey, Ruby Jean, how you doing? Ruby Jean, my Gemini friend. Survival Moss. If you guys haven't done it yet, you want to see Moss, go to Survival Moss. They have a shelf-stable, freeze-dried, lasts for 25 years, can travel with you. Sea moss.
We're talking to them on Monday.
All right, we're gonna have a sea moss, sea moss extravaganza on Monday. How much diatomaceous? Hey, if you guys are questioning the vitamins and you want to know what to take, go to our website and download our brand new supplement guide. If you haven't done it yet, go download our supplement guide. In the supplement guide, you'll see we have a lot more detail to it. If you haven't downloaded it like in the last couple of weeks, download it. There's details to it. There's videos. We reference JFK in a couple of them. It's really, really good. It's much different than it was before. Carol, any news on when you're going to be in Indonesia yet? No, but it looks like we're nailing a date for Prague. Hello, is it Carol?
Yeah, Caroline.
Hey, Caroline. So, Caroline,
Hi,
where are you
Garry.
calling from?
I come from Nairobi, Kenya.
Are you in Nairobi? Or?
Yes, I am in Nairobi.
Oh, yeah. You can say hi to Charlie, our buddy over. Oh no, he's back in the United States. So, when's your birthday?
August 11th.
Oh, master level Leo.
Yeah.
You're a Taurus Leo. You're like heart.
Yeah.
So the balance for
Oh,
you is like, do I express myself or I'm expressing myself, and there's kind of no in between.
that's
All right, hold back.
so true. Yeah, that is so true.
How long have you been following?
I think a month now. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Have you tried the research yet?
Yeah, I have signed up for the 28-day reset. Absolutely.
We're looking for the big community over there. I want to come over there.
Oh, please feel most welcome. Most welcome. Let me know when you're here. I would love to join you.
Yeah, well, we know where we go is where people start to develop, and communities are developing all over the world. And when they start up and do classes and show it, that's where we're going to go.
Oh.
Because I don't care where it is. If someone gets there and starts building a community and sharing and doing it and helping people, that's where we're going to go. We're going to go. Those are what we call sparks.
All right.
I'm going to pour gasoline on sparks.
Absolutely. At least I have my mom and my uncle signed up. I'm gonna get the community a bit bigger soon.
So what brought you to Human Garage?
It's the holistic living. It's smart living, the sustainable living. I feel like the information you have is pretty amazing and different. I really love the community, to be honest.
You know, somebody over there knocked off the name Human Garage for the clinic.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. Maybe it's Kenya. I'm not sure. But anyways, they knocked off the name. They used our old logo, and they've got like a doctor and a chiropractor and that. And I'm like, whoa! I'm over in Africa now.
Oh, it's not a foreign concept here. Yeah.
So, do you have children?
No, I don't have kids.
And what was it that you were looking to resolve in your own body as part of this journey?
I think I have a lot of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of I want to say mental blocks, especially when it comes to abundance and attracting the type of career I want. Yeah, because my mind, I feel like I've manifested the life I want, but it's like my body doesn't coordinate with where I'm at mentally.
Yeah, you know you're blocked, right?
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
here,
okay.
your throat.
All right.
Does that sound
Crazy.
right?
It sounds very, very
I can
right. Very right.
feel it, man. It's like I can feel that there's everything below and everything above, and it's all like stuck here, like a collar.
Yeah, that's true.
So why is it that you feel that you can't express yourself properly?
I don't know. I feel like growing up, because of being bullied and having people not listen to what I was expressing, I kind of held back just to keep myself safe. So I think over time it's become such a build up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you like there's different consequences over there to speaking up sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Very, very huge consequences.
Like the social enforcement of behavior is pretty intense over
Yeah.
there, right?
That's very true. You could get
So
jailed. Yeah, it's crazy.
so what do you expect that you can do over there by bringing this over there?
I feel like this knowledge is required, especially here, and how consciousness is moving. There needs to be more awareness into exactly what's going on in the community and how we need to live a bit differently. Yeah.
So you want to do something for your throat?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Hey, put your phone up.
All right, 1 second.
How did you get the name? Is it Na Healing or is that how you pronounce it?
My name
Or your
Nyambura.
handle, NA Healing, Na Healing?
I yeah. Is it? I don't understand the question.
Oh,
Please
your
come again.
handle on
Oh,
Instagram,
okay.
it's NA Healing. What does Na mean?
No. Mine is Caroline Karaoke.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, you know what's
Mm-hmm.
funny? It's what's funny is somebody else. It said it went live and it never went live, so they shut it off. And I saw it. Okay,
Okay.
Caroline, take your right hand, put it on your heart.
All right.
Left hand on your throat.
Happy. Okay.
Okay. Breathe in through your mouth to your heart. Two. Three. Thank you, heart, for holding all of the trauma
Thank you, heart, for holding all of the trauma
until I was ready to process it.
until I was ready to process
I'm
it.
ready to process it now.
I'm ready to process it now.
Breathe in through your nose to your neck.
Say that again.
Breathe in through your nose to your throat. Two. Three. I'm learning to speak my truth,
I'm learning to speak my truth
even when it's inconvenient.
even when it's inconvenient.
I'm learning to speak the truth of my heart
I'm learning to speak the truth
with
of my heart,
compassion for others
with compassion for others,
and compassion for myself.
and compassion for myself.
Put your left hand on your head, leave your right hand on your heart. Breathe in through your mouth. Two. Three. Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3. Thank you, heart.
Thank you, heart.
You're in charge now.
Charge now.
Okay.
Oh, feels so amazing.
What do you feel?
I felt so much tingling on my throat, and I feel really lighthearted, and I don't know, like weight off my shoulders.
You're smiling.
Yeah.
You're smiling with your eyes too.
Oh, thank you so much, Garry.
It's the Leo in you coming out now.
Sorry, say that again.
The Taurus has been present in your life. Now the Leo, it's time for the Leo to come out.
Oh, that's amazing. It's been pretty tough couple of years.
When you get a chance and you feel confident, start a class out there. Show other people. Use word of mouth. Build a community. That community, you're the Leo, you're the heart. So bring people around the heart.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
I'll be watching for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi, Caroline.
Bye, Garry.
Feel that. Feel softer in my throat. Heart opening. Yes, crying. I see the color green while closing my eyes. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, super cool. So what time is it there?
Hello!
Did I catch you in bed or what?
Yeah. But I'm listening. I was doing the throat.
So you've
My face
been going
is
through some
swollen
changes
today.
lately.
Huh?
You've been going through changes lately.
A lot. Yeah. For
So
sure.
what's been going on for you as a Capricorn? Coming out of Capricorn season, we're now in Aquarius.
It feels so much more breathable. It definitely feels like there's opening. I was really glad the other Jackie talked about the right hip because my right hip has just been showing up for me. It's been beautiful to see my friends shift so much too. Like they've been praying to like get their bodies back out of fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
And like being able to share your stuff, it's like so beautiful to see my friends like need that.
I love your glasses. They look like mini pearl glasses. You remember Mini Pearl from Texas?
No. What is it?
Mini Pearl from Texas. She used to always wear pearls and pearls on her hat and all that shit. Those are the glasses.
I like it.
So are you in LA right now?
I'm at the beach. I'm in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. So what are you noticing around you, people? What's happening in the community, in the world? What have you been seeing?
What have I been seeing? Like, I'm on live with Gary, by the way. I've been telling her all about your stuff too, and she's powerful as well because she's gone through so much health stuff and she's got a degree in nutrition. All right, so what have I been seeing in the world? I definitely feel we have opened up to this access of such freeness. I feel like a lot of the heavy kind of has been dropped away, especially if you've been setting your intentions. I feel like the power is just getting clear, like the veil's getting thinner, and I feel like there's a big group of us getting ready to like really shift with the next group, like because we've been doing the work for so long.
Yes.
That I can feel that like the wings are out, but it's like you're just stepping into it, and I feel that big time.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely feels like the world's doing that split. It's like people who have been working on themselves or who are willing to work on themselves are going through their journey. And, even I have lots of friends who are spiritual, who are healers, who've been doing everything right. And to be honest with you, they're the ones getting shit kicked the most right now. And that's like because you guys have been doing all the right stuff for everybody else, but you got to take care of your own emotions, and that's trapped in your body.
And I think right now we're also kind of being tested. Like, can you show up for yourself?
Yeah,
right now. Can
absolutely.
you rest when you need rest? Look at this.
It's following with your heart. Hi there.
Hi. Yeah. And it's also ego too. Do you have any ego involved? Because if you do, it's like kicking your ass.
Yeah, especially where you are right now. People are walking around a little zombified, aren't they?
It's really kind of wild. I feel like I'm in my own world because I'm, like singing and dancing and doing my thing. But it's like almost like a lot of people. It's like you can feel like they can't even see me almost.
Well, that's what the split looks like. That's what Chris keeps talking about. He says that's what a split actually looks like. Is that you can see each other. It's like seeing somebody in a mirror. It's like a curtain is revealing itself, so you can see other people, but they can't see you. And I've been like that. I've been under a lot of stress or a lot of pain in parts of my life. I remember looking at, parts of my life were heavy financial stress or heavy personal pain, and seeing people around me looking like they're having fun and feeling like that's a different reality. How is it that they're having fun? Like, don't they see me in pain? It's kind of the thought process.
It's definitely shifting. It's weird being back here because it's like being home. So I lived here for so many years, but then it's also like so foreign. You forget, we feel the energy, like all the programming, you can just feel the stuff.
Is that because I really only went to Joshua Tree? Is LA like really worse than the rest of the rest? Is it like really, really intense there?
It's kind of a both. Like there's a lot of calming. I find like the California itself, like she feels like different. But the people, I think the government, there's a lot of interesting. It's not as bad as it was, I think, in like the beginning of 2020. But it's definitely, it's weird. You can feel going through the communities a lot more of that stress too, and the money. Like you can,
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think this is what people are coming to. They've gone through the last 3 months of personal crisis, and now that personal crisis, because they've been in their own world dealing with their own shit, is filtering into the next 3 months into their community, their jobs, the people around them, because people are going. The people disappear for like 4 or 5 weeks, and they don't really notice it. But at 6, 7, 8 weeks, they go, "Hey, what's going on?" And now their personal stuff is boiling over into everybody else.
Missy's on.
Hey, Missy.
It's honestly, it's so fascinating. It really is, and you really keep shifting like deeper levels in me, which is kind of fascinating too, because I've been.
What does that look like? What does that look like? What does that mean? What does that look like? I mean, you're doing the maneuvers, you're in the program, but you're also in a private group that I have too. So you're getting a little bit more exposure. What does that look like? What does shifting levels mean?
Okay, so I'll start with shifting. I would say is never looks the same for two people because everyone is unique and everyone is in a thing. It feels for me, it brings tears. It's like a clear alignment. It's like when this is part of your work, like I know I came in to help people with their body from since I was little, but I didn't really understand it. And I also had all that trauma that we've talked about. So it's like, I know I'm helping people heal into the trauma because it's like, I'm like you, I can stand next to you and I can feel your body. Like I always know. And it's like with you too, it's like for those that don't know, like before I came on my first live with Garry, like I prayed, like, okay, universe, like I was in the grunts of life, right? And it's like exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I have to fall in love with it, and I have to appreciate it, and I have to know like it's teaching me my lessons too. But at the same time, it's so challenging when you feel like you're stuck in those places, when you're like, okay, I'm ready. Like, what can I do to move beyond this? How can I complete this lesson? And I feel like somehow you've answered my prayers in ways that I'm still understanding. And like literally like how you came into my life, it was like no accident, and it's starting to like have more awareness on a conscious level of like even the first time I got the phone with you, like I was so enlightened, I was so aligned with like this is all kind of making sense. And for me it's hard because I want to study in person. Like I was a figure skater for years, and the reason why I got so good so quick is because I had the coaching and the one-on-one. So I'm so used to like asking 1,000 questions, like why the 3 breaths? Why the 6 breaths? Why do I have to start with my nose? Does it make a difference if I start with my mouth versus my nose? Like, so my head, because it's like you're learning to speak, right? You talked about how long it takes to swallow and to like learn that life. Like this, I feel like I'm learning for something that's going to be so important forever. Like, if that makes sense. That it's like I want to make sure I'm getting it right from the get-go. Like I have 1,000 questions going off. Like
That's your Capricorn for sure.
Yes.
You don't want to get it wrong. But the other part too is that the questions, the beauty about this is that the answers to all the questions are inside, but we've been taught to get the answers here, but not get them here. And the best way to know the difference between 3 breaths and 6 breaths is to do it. It's a language. The body, fascial maneuvers is the beginning. It's breaking down the barriers of the language between the body and our consciousness. And I'm learning. I'm still learning today. I'm learning that I knew nothing about who I was.
Well, and a lot of people don't know too. I had a back injury where I was really bad, and I could barely walk. And so for me, the only way I've been able to like come back to part of my body has been doing stretches. Like I've been doing weird stretches and weird breathing for so long that like the stuff that you're doing, it's like, oh, this makes so much sense. Like now, and then
it's a consciousness. It's a wave. It's a consciousness. Everybody will do fascial maneuvers, and it has nothing to do with what I did. It was we pierced a veil, which then brought, it's like when Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, 85 other people did it that year, but half of them didn't even know he broke it. It's because a veil is pierced and everybody's going to start rising in consciousness.
It's the same thing as the 100 monkey. Once they started, enough of them rinsed the water to get the sand off it when they ate the potato, it didn't have sand all over them. Like it just started happening on continents all over. Like we are a collective, and I totally like completely get that. So like it's
I'm the first monkey.
I know, and I feel that, and it's funny because it's like you put words to like some of my beliefs too. Like I didn't understand, like you can't go research fascia the way you have.
You can't.
No, and that's
because we are.
So
we can't. It's trying to conceptualize, because we are spirit. Like we've been taught that we are this body. The world moves around us. Where everything. It's actually scientifically there's a ball of energy which we're at the center of, and we can identify here. We can identify here. We can identify here. We can identify out here. That's our choice.
Well, and for me, I think what we're really moving into is like people are going into their heart. But really, in order to be balanced in our heart, is we've had to clear out. So when I studied Tantra, right, we learned too that any unresolved traumas in our body are always go down to our lower chakras, which is why it's so important for women to move their hips, because our hips, we carry so much in our hips. But just the flow and the movement, like being able to access these traumas with, yes. And we have, I love it. And we have 4 pelvic nerves that go from our pelvic floor to our brain.
Yeah.
Like,
it's absolutely.
And like the body is so fascinating.
You know what's even crazier? Your pelvic floor is a diaphragm, your jaw is a diaphragm, and they counter rotate against each other. And then this one goes up and down. So your pelvic floor is in constant communication with all of the lower part of the cranial nerves, which feed up into the brain. Fascia.
When can I come study? I need to come. I just want to
You're on your way.
ask Gary. I just want
You're
to
on
be
your
like
way.
a person. Can
It'll
I
be a
ask
matter of
Gary?
time.
Huh?
It'll be a matter of time. You're on your way.
I know. I am so grateful for your work, and I share it because I know what such a difference it makes.
Yeah.
And I also I didn't understand too. Like, I knew somehow our body is like our computer system. Like, I know this is how we have to navigate the next level is through our body. Like, we've gotten through the mind, most of us, but now, like, I really feel like the vessel is how we move into that next.
We get that a lot. We get people who are thought leaders and spiritual leaders and even Kundalini leaders and stuff like that, but the body's broken. I'm like, it's a whole thing. If the body's broken, that means something's broken. And it's okay if you're going through transition, because the body is either breaking down and dying or growing and living. There isn't, it doesn't neutralize. There's no such thing as an equilibrium. I mean, the body, we have this thing about the body being a balance. It's not. It's either I'm moving forward or I'm moving backwards. There is no option. There's nothing in between.
It's really amazing.
You know, it's gonna be a little while, but people between now and August are basically going to have parts of their lives which you're feeling. That's what I was asking about LA. Ripped out. They're still hanging on. But as it gets ripped out, they feel it in their body. And you can't, no one is going to hide from this. And this is where I see a lot of the spiritual leaders and the health practitioners and the people that have been the healthy ones, they're having the most challenge right now. Because they're like, no, I'm good. It's all you guys got to help. And I'm like, whew, you got something coming. And this is because, I mean, my journey over the last 4 years, that's why I recorded every moment of it. It wasn't easy. I mean, I was saying 2 years ago, Debbie, who's on here, who's a 29-degree Sag with me, she's in our group. 2 years ago, in Capricorn, I was in so much pain right here. Nothing, there's no reason for it. It's emotional pain because my Sag Capricorn area is just like, I don't even know what that is. I didn't even know what my emotional center is. And it was all coming out in Capricorn. I couldn't move for a whole month. I was in pain. I was using plant medicine like ketamine and all that to try and get out, and nothing worked. And I had to sit in that pain. And then a year ago, or a year before that, it was all in my heart. And I was telling this story to somebody earlier. You know, I was in so much pain at some point in my heart, and there was nothing wrong with my physical heart. I was like with my mom lined up at a liquor store at 9 a.m. to get a bottle of wine because it's like, I gotta get rid of this. I gotta shut it down. Because I didn't know how to open up. I didn't know how to pay attention to my own emotions.
So my heart started giving me issues when I was like 15. I could start felt like I was almost like having little heart attacks or something. Like it was
the 15th now. This 15?
No, like 15 years old.
Oh,
but
15 years old.
Talked about that's actually your heart center shifting, and that it's part.
That's your Libra year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a year that you're starting to find the balance, and your lungs actually pump the heart. The heart's not a pump. The lungs.
Yeah, I need to go back and listen to all of it again and take notes because you drop a lot of gems during the reset.
Yeah, so it's important because each year we go through something. Each year those numbers mean something. And then the astrology means something. And then I have my reflection. It's like, how am I acting or reacting to what I have? Because astrology is just one way of looking at it. The numbers are another way of looking at it. But at the end of it, those are just like guideposts because I still have my experience.
Yeah. They're like little tools if you need a little tune-up, a little assistance, but it's like, it's designed this way. Yeah. It really is beautiful. And it's
like the joy of remembering, like truly when you can really get into like knowing like that dark is only for that light to come in, and that I chose this, that I created this, like I am, like it really is so beautiful to come back home. And I feel like that's been for me primarily like the main thing. It's like, oh, it's like starting to feel like that true alignment, starting to like step in, still not exactly knowing what that's going to look like,
But that's the journey.
yeah.
It's like we're taught that certainty is what we want. We're programmed. It's like, can you imagine we cage a dog to make it feel safe?
Yeah.
Where in nature was a dog before us, was a dog caged? We've trained them to do that, just like we've been caged. We're meant to be outside 85% of the time. We spend 85% of our time inside in our cages. Yeah. I mean, it's been a journey for me. Like, first of all, wearing this every day. I wear shorts and t-shirts. I don't have anything else. I don't want anything else. Literally, I don't care. And learning to be outside every day. And, granted, it's easier to do that when it's warm. But I also made a choice that this is what I wanted to do. And this is how you go outside, you can have your winter coats and all that. I don't mind doing it once in a while, but if that's what you like, good for you. I like being able to take this thing off and go into the water anytime I want.
Right? You're like, I like to be mostly naked.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too is I calculated that on an average I wear shoes for less than 1.5 hours per month.
That's cool.
I'm barefoot everywhere all the time, and it's like it's a new way of living. I mean, it's like reconnecting with my life, because people say I feel disconnected in my life. Well, take off your shoes, get some of the chemicals off your body, go out and walk in nature, and then do that not just once, not just like once a week, like make it a thing. Get out.
I'm becoming much more sensitive. Like even my face is, I did the massage and stuff, but it's like we ate the Indian samosa house last night, but I feel like I can feel my face, like my body just, it's getting a lot more sensitive to things.
Yes. You're going to become super sensitive to the point where things annoy the crap out of you and you feel it in your body. Then you're going to be sensitive to a new level, but your body won't respond so much. Then you'll be sensitive and it doesn't affect anything in your body. And then there's a point where like I can go eat chemicals or be around chemicals. I could go do that. And I have an effect, but my effect is really more in my brain now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can, because I know it's happening, but my body processes it really quick. But and this is where we were born to be. We weren't born to be all messed up and reacting to food and reacting to people and situations. This is all from chemical poisoning and programming.
Yes, please. Wow. Wow. Yeah. It really is wild to see, like when you start to realize like, oh my gosh, like all the ways and all the things, and going back and forth. I think like living in the trees and then like being on like well water and those kind of things, and then coming back to city life. It's so okay.
Yeah, you're not going to want to do it soon. And that's the thing is that like we're going to go out for tomorrow. We're going to go out for 5 days out right on the water. Like here in Mexico, it's really great. But we're still in a city. We're in a compound. It's like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
But I can feel it's not like Lions Bay. We're Lions Bay. We're like no one's around. And the more time I spend away, the cleaner I get, the less I want to. It's like I used to like being in cities. I used to like going where all that. But I have zero desire to be there anymore. And I can take it. But I also now, and I didn't realize this, that every one of us, we feel everything. We have just shut off the feeling.
Yeah. Well,
because a lot of us, I think, are so sensitive that in order to survive, like get through it, we have to like turn down our senses. Because for me, like it's a lot. When you really like sit with it, it's like, whew,
Yeah, exactly.
wow.
So what does the rest of Aquarius look like for you? Do you have any idea?
Why don't you tell me what you see?
All right, I'm not putting any spells on you.
Why? I know you know.
No, I don't know. I know what conditions are, but
I feel that I'm just in a very much a flow state. I've learned kind of like you, like I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow necessarily, but I just trust the process. Ooh, look at that's cool. And I've been saying that people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I work for God. Like God just sends me where I need to be. So I feel like I've done that for a few years now, and I'm like cool in that place, but I still also am the Capricorn. Like I like having my home. I like knowing where my pillow is, and I'm also just trusting, like I'm very much guided. So I'm glad, like I'm really honored that I've worked so many years to develop that channel of openness within to hear spirit talking so well. So I know I'm very guided. But I definitely feel like I'm ready to like step up to like
you
stop
want to get
hiding.
out in community.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get in. You want to intermix with people. You want to share your stuff right now.
I want to help people feel better about who they are. Like that's always been a part of like what I do, and I've worked with for years, but now this is a whole different way because it's so simple. Because you're using. Can I ask you what the pelvic floor is? That the Kundalini life force?
I think there's not I think. Okay, I'll say I know, but I don't like to use that anymore because every time I think I know something, I get my ass kicked and I find out something new.
Yeah.
So my current state of awareness shows me that, like we talk about the Kundalini rising. Why is it so impactful? Is because we are so repressed. That Kundalini rising is the natural flow that's supposed to be there 24/7. It's kind of like when you go take psilocybin. Mm-hmm. If you take psilocybin right now and you take a gram, you'd be like, whoa, I see all the connection. You take a gram every day for a year and it's like you don't even notice it. That's just the way it is. And that's where the Kundalini rising comes from our pelvic floor. Yes, it is magical and all that, but that's the way it's supposed to be 24/7. It's not supposed to be, rising means it was squished down. It's supposed to just be there. We're supposed to be in flow. So in our pelvic floor, and their connection to our root chakra, we have been grounded, and like an elephant, that when you put a leash around an elephant, we've been put it, because we say that I am that I am, but I am that I am is describing my root. And that limits us because it's not only a saying, I do this, I do this, I do this. And when you go into like Hopi, the native Hopi, or you go into the Mayans and stuff like that, they don't even have a word for I. The word for I is when they say it is I am in you and you are me. That's what it means. So our language will either limit us or liberate us. And what we've crafted a language set that limits us. Because when I say I am that I am, I'm stuck in my root chakra. And that's where the world is. That's why Kundalini rises. It's like we're coming out of our root chakra. Sometimes we're forcing it out. And sometimes it's spontaneous. But I am that I am. So I am. I create. I feel. I love. I speak. I perceive. I embody. And we have the choice through language to change us from not being in our, because it's a cool place to be in I create. But if I love making movies, then I don't have to find energy to create this, because if I love it enough, that energy is already there. It's already inclusive in there. My feelings are already there. My heart is already there. And so we're unwinding from a belief set
Yeah.
and the limitations that were put upon us to keep us into slavery.
Yes. Yes, because and programmed to not listen to our passion, to not know that our womb is our creation, life force energy, to not understand like, oh, when we're in creative energy, we're in God flow.
Yeah.
Like we are taken out. And it's fun, like being a teacher, I got to actually recognize like, oh man, like just having them sit down and be quiet, like those things, you're programming them to be out of their natural flow.
You've been working with Tantra. Wait till your fascia really opens. Like, I mean, it's progressive. And it's not saying it's not open, but it's progressive. It's like, oh my God. Like about 2 years ago, it was like, oh my God. Like, is that what it was always supposed to feel like? And then it was like a year ago, it was like, oh my God. And it's been this constant thing, but I have less desire because the physical acts of, let's say, sex, right? The physical acts is because there is energy that has to be released. Like, forget about all the humanity. Talk about just frequency. Yeah. There's a buildup of energy that's stored that needs to be released. That buildup of release is what we covet. That's our most intimate experience, but part of the intimacy. But what if it wasn't? What if there was something way, way, way more powerful, way more encompassing? And what if we're so caught up we don't even know it?
But that's where you learn to actually pull in that life force energy and pulse it back in through you, so you do get bigger and better. And so it's
but what if the energy in here that I identify with is still the lowest form? What if it's all out here?
It is, and that's what the prana is. It's literally your life force energy. So your breath, when you take that breathe in, it's like you can literally pull in the life force.
Well, that's what you're doing.
You can start seeing like
it in.
Yes, you're breathing it in. You're breathing in that life force energy. That is literally.
What about the guys that go down and literally less than a breath a minute? What about the guys who take like a breath every 5 to 10 minutes? What about those yogis? What about and we know that the yogis have done this. Like, what is it? What if this doesn't even need the prana? I mean, I just look at, we were meant as human beings to be whole.
Yes.
And we have become less than whole. That's why and when we're less than whole, we don't feel easy in our body. That's where disease starts from.
Right.
And I don't know the answers.
Do you feel that though it's a program though for us to feel less than?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, right from birth, from the way we're raised, from what we're told, what a human being is, like human beings are genetically closer to mushrooms than we are animals. So like, how is it that we relate ourselves and say, yeah, like animals in nature do, and this is why I do it? Actually, just look at what mushrooms do, and then that's how, like, we're looking for our history through animals, and I'm like, look at your history through mushrooms.
Isn't it crazy? Was it every step you take has 3,000 miles of psilocybin brain network kind of thing underneath every step you take in the ground?
Yeah. And every breath I make.
Mushrooms, that fantastic fungi was so beautiful to like, I think
if people want to learn, we're going to teach a lot about that and the interactions. But if you go follow West Coast Fungi, that's where all of our fungus information is going to start channeling through. Yeah. We've been, West Coast Fungi on Instagram, because what we've been doing is, like, what happens if you we don't have it down here in Mexico, which I really miss, but what happens if the only thing you eat is medicinal mushrooms? Like, what does that do to change you? And it's crazy the way that I feel. Like Jordan in Vancouver, like you take a lion's mane and it's for 100 grams, it's 22 grams of protein, where a steak is 24 grams of protein.
Wow.
Yeah, Wow. And so there's all these parts of our life which we just aren't used to living because of the habits and the things that we're taught to do. We live in our lowest state of awareness. So like when some of us pop our heads out, We go, oh, this is so great. But then I pop my head out and look around enough, and it's like, oh, there's more over here. So I go over there, and I go pop my head up again and pop my head up again. I just think that, I do know this. I know that we're just coming to the basic understanding that everything that we thought we knew was nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's also the key to every teacher, right? Is like, I'm a student for life. I know something, but I also know nothing. It's like, I still think we're still unfolding the body. Like, we have so much to
We have no
learn.
idea.
Yeah.
We literally, scientifically, 2.2 million proteins. We only know what 5,000 new proteins run us. We know shit.
Yeah.
Everybody says it's the science, and I'm like, bullshit, 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 bullshit.
Well, and they can't even, if you go back to the women in the body and sexual stuff, they can't even, scientists still can't understand where Amrita comes from.
Okay, here's one. Do you know how many people that I have personally worked with, and including in my family, guy has a vasectomy, has no sperm count, but has a baby. And then they go, it's a miracle. And I'm like, it's not a miracle. I mean, yeah, sure, miracle of life and all that, but there is something that happens. That means, what if birth wasn't only biological? What if it wasn't immaculate and we just confirm it with biology?
Well, and that's sort of what happens, right? Spirit babies, you choose your parents before you come down.
It's exactly what happens. We were sold a bill of goods, and what we believe we make true. But technically, we don't work for stuff. We manifest stuff, and we work to increase our belief in the value that we should get it. Because that's how you can, if you have 2 weeks worth of work and then you do it in a day, that's how it gets done. We manifest. And we work so that we can believe and be worthy through our own belief that we're going to get it. That's how some people just do shit overnight, and some people take forever.
Yeah.
It's not linear.
No, the worth, though, when you bring up worth, that's such a big thing for me, because it's like, I always thought I was worthy, but like deep down, the subconscious was like, nope, you're not worthy, you're not worthy. And it's amazing how that echoes so strongly in a life.
Yeah, we're coming to a reality check, and this year is people are making a decision about what they believe and who they're going to be through the course of this 12 cycles.
You, for example, are the beginning of what this next life looks like. It's not about money. People are like, oh, I have this. It's like, I'll get through this. It's like, no. What we're going to go through next is beyond that.
All the
It's
people
all
that
about
have money, don't worry about it. It's going to be
energy.
funny. It's going to be funny to watch, actually.
Right? I almost made a post yesterday. I'm like, by the way, this next little life is not
The
about how
more
much money you got in your bank.
you have, the more it's going to hurt. That's all I can say. The more you have, the more it's going to hurt, because the more dependent emotionally that you become on it, the more anchored you're into it. The strongest person is the one who needs nothing. It's like the most dangerous person is the one who doesn't care. Like, that's the one who you don't care, because you have nothing to lose. Well, the one who has nothing to lose in the currency of life, the flow of life, is the one. That's what's going to happen, man. I mean, it's already happening, but you can see it. Like, you can see the mechanics of it. By the way, for those of you who want to see this start to uncrumble, just watch what happened with Sports Illustrated. That's a thread. That's the thread that just got pulled out of the scarf, out of the shirt, and that is going to unravel. And people are going to go, "Oh, all of this stuff I thought was real is not real." That's the beginning seeing of the thread unravel.
Okay, you've talked about this. What are they actually finding? Why did they fire?
Well, there's a corporation that they thought that ran it, that took the license to the name to run it. They didn't make a $3.5 million payment, correlated payment. So now the parent corporation says, okay, we're shutting you down, because that's the law of it. But that means all the people that were working there aren't working there anymore. But what they're going to find out is, have you ever seen that thing where you show 35 corporations that runs all of that, what you see, you eat, and all that stuff?
Yeah, it all comes back.
That's what it is. Yeah. So basically, all of the world that we think we live in is a facade. It's like we're doing busy work, and everybody's working within there. It's a facade. And then the funny other one, which is going around, I love to watch this. I mean, for me, it's like comedy. It's like the NFL is scripted, and I'm like, yeah,
Finally, they kind of tell you what you
yeah. You're gonna realize it's all been scripted.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
It's gonna shock people. Like
even
I heard a
even
guy.
last
Listen,
year's Super Bowl
was in,
could be in the colors of the countries. Like, really, there's not by accident.
I was when I was in prison, you get these radios, and I was listening to Coast to Coast, and this guy came on. He was a PhD in math and a statistician, right?
By the way,
And
my mom's been on Coast to Coast like 4 times.
has she? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, especially with Art Bell.
Back with Art Bell.
Oh yeah, he loved my mom.
And so, so this guy ran a statistical model he ran all these sporting events, right?
Okay.
And he ran all the NFL and NBA and all this, and he ran a statistical model on the probability of all of these different events happening. And his whole thing was, his theory was, is that this could not have happened. Statistically, there is, in a real world, that all these different things are the last minute win, the points. And then, so he ran this model, and Art was like, so what you're saying is this is all set up? And he goes, yeah, I'm saying that. And I was like, listen to that, and like, nah, can't be. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, the thread has been pulled. So what we're seeing is, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the in the sign of Aquarius. In Aquarius, all things are revealed. You can't hide anything. The veil is lifted.
And I think that's important too, on the individual level. Like, we're learning to speak our truth. Like, you have to start speaking your truth, because people will feel it and know it if you're not.
Yes. Yeah, and people aren't going to resonate with things that aren't true. And it's like a sixth sense that people have. So as the veil comes down, then there's the harsh reality. Is like, I mean, you've gone through this, I've gone through this. Some people have gone through various versions of this, but the layer, every time I think I get it, there's a different layer of this reality that reveals itself to me. And again, so like, I stopped trying to figure out now. I stopped trying to investigate. I don't care anymore. I love this.
Yeah.
I love working with you. I love talking to people. I love helping people. I'm going to see the whole freaking world. Oh, by the way, you guys can add Prague onto our tour date on the 22nd of June, and you can add New York on the 2nd, 3rd of June. I'm just putting that out there right now, because those are some areas where we're going to go. But I just going to go to these places, help the people, and see stuff that I want to see. I came here to this planet to experience. So I'm going to go experience.
I love that. And I love that your model is how we're moving into this next level.
Yeah.
It's like, it's heart-based. It's knowledge that you should know, but it's also supportive. Like, when the people who can give. Like, the people who can you know what I mean? Like, you have such the next level. It really is a gift. And it's funny, because I'm so used to, like, you not teaching other people's words, and then you encourage it. So it's like a whole new, like, uncomfortable button, because I'm so used to, like, I've learned this from my teacher. And so for you, like, spreading the knowledge, like, I feel weird doing videos with just your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all have to get off that somewhere, because we're like people. I get people that somebody in one of the chats or sent a message. He goes, Tai Chi or something like this. You guys are just doing this. It's a sacred art. And I'm like, well, first of all, if you're saying that, you haven't done fascial maneuvers, because Tai Chi is the inside movement. Fascial maneuvers is the outside movement. It's the container. But we have recognized the ancients and the arts in the past.
Yeah.
It's time for us to just experience and create the new. We're not going to get anything from the past anymore. We're like going back to ancient practices ain't gonna serve us. It's like the world has changed, our energy's changed, our bodies have changed, everything has changed.
Yeah.
So let's just wake up, and then let's dig around, and let's build a new story in this changed world.
I love that. It's true. It's like what we're doing. Like, what inspires you? What makes your heart go, yeah.
Yeah. What inspires you? You know what inspires me is that moment when the change happens for people, and you can see it in their eyes. that's my thing. It's like, it's when they have the epiphany, like, oh, and that,
It's that light that goes off that you're
Yeah.
just like, you can
Yeah.
see it. You're connected now.
yeah, that's my drug.
That's the gift of seeing that,
Yeah.
feeling that.
Yeah.
Well, you are such an inspirer of that moment. You really are. Like
Yeah, I like to say that it's like you're seeing the finished, you're seeing the product when it's on the production line getting packaged up. It's been a crazy life, man.
I know.
It has been.
I know.
That's the best part.
It's funny because we've, like, I mean, we've been like a mile, maybe 2 miles from each other for how long? Like, in the same thing. And it's like, yeah. And it is true because it's like, we're literally, I think the best is yet to unfold. And at the same time, we're going to get stuff coming through. But it's the stuff we've gone through to be able to have the smile in your eyes, to have the smile in your heart. It's not by accident. Like,
No.
it is.
No, it was meant to be. I'm living it. I'm living in the purpose, the reason why I came here. And to be honest with you, what I came here to do was to bring fascia maneuvers to the world. It's happened. So now everything else is a bonus. I'm on bonus time, so I'm just gonna have fun with it.
Wow, you really are such a gift, and I recognize that, and I see that, and like just now, like I have such gratitude with you. So I'm super grateful for.
Looking forward to the rest of this journey, right?
Yes, like I feel like it's just getting ready to unfold, and that's the thing. It's like all I want to do is like, how can I show up? Like, show me how to help people, because it's like I know I've been in that, like
you're learning it right now. It's like there's nothing I can teach you. I can inspire you to do more with yourself, but it's your experience that people feel. It's not the knowledge anymore. If you have the experience, I can inspire and guide your experience.
Yeah.
But it's your experience that's the teacher, not me.
Well, I'm so grateful for you. I truly have a special love in my heart. I call you my little body wizard. You really are just this gift, and I know everyone on here knows that and feels that and too, and just the team that brings us all together to make this possible. Like, you're such a gift. I see you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, guys, welcome to the weekend. Why do we call it a weekend? I think it should be a powerful end. I'm going to rename it. Welcome to the powerful end. No, powerful beginning. Yeah, that sounds better. Welcome to the powerful beginning. For the next 2 days, you are going to feel powerful. Tomorrow, you're going to be a little bit floaty. And tomorrow, all kinds of signals are going to come out. But Sunday, you make a decision, and you'll be back here on Monday with Chris Witecki for Astro Monday, and we're going to see what happens next week. You're going to feel a lot better that we're still in that mood energy, but by tomorrow, you're going to feel a lot more charged. So remember, whatever decision that you're trying to make, hold off until Sunday. Okay. Have a great weekend. Have a great, power beginning. Instead of a weekend, let's have a power beginning. Have a great power beginning. See you guys on Monday.
Get your tickets tomorrow.
I'll get your tickets for tomorrow. Get online, go get your tickets. Come on, support them. Go have a class. Take care.